Hey guys, welcome back to my bootleg special effects series where I'm showing you how to create special effects makeup with things that you probably already have in your makeup collection. Today's installment is going to be a cut tutorial. It should be pretty quick, pretty easy, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to be demonstrating on the back of my hand because it is the easiest to capture on camera. And the very first thing I'm going to do is map out the shape of the cut that I want using a nude lip liner. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to be doing a very basic line, and this shape does not have to be precise. Basically, you're just trying to lay out where you want the cut to be. And this line will also help you layer colors later on and achieve a much more realistic looking cut. Next, I'm going to take this pinkish blush color, which I've swatched on my finger. I'm not sure how well you can see it in this lovely lighting that I have, but I'm going to swirl that on a fluffy blending brush and just blend it around the edges of the cut to make it look a lot more inflamed. And depending on your costume, you may want to do a little more or a little less depending on how fresh you want the cut to be. Generally speaking, older cuts will be more inflamed and newer cuts will be less. This also can be very messy, and you're going to want to start off with a small amount of pigment and just build it up slowly. Now I'm going to take a more precise brush and just build up that color, concentrating more along the actual line of the cut that I've just drawn. Now using the same precise brush, I'm going to take a high impact red color and really precisely feather that along the edge of the cut. Now that I've got my base built up, I'm going to take a red lip liner and really fill in the center of the cut. It's alright if this looks uneven. In fact, it probably should, since most cuts aren't going to be completely uniform. Then once I have this base lined up, I'm going to take that same nude lip liner as before and just very lightly outline this red cut. Then I'll take this smudger brush and just blend out. You're going to want to go back and forth between these two different colors, red and nude, until you've managed to create something that looks satisfactorily 3D. And obviously, be sure to blend the edges. You should end up with something that looks a little bit like this. Now I'm going to go back into the red eyeshadow and then finally the blush and just make sure that the edges are blended together and that the inflammation looks a little bit stronger. Now I'm going to add a tiny bit more dimension to this cut. You can use a black eye or lip liner for this. I'm just going to use lip liner because it's what I happen to have on hand. And I'm going to add a tiny bit just in the very center of the cut. Then I'm going to blend that out just so that there's no harsh lines between the black and the red. And I'm also going to go back in one more time with that red just to lighten everything up, bring the color back. The final step is to add some fake blood, and you can use a lip gloss for this. I prefer a lip stain because the staying power obviously is a lot stronger. If you happen to have fake blood, feel free to use that as well, but since this series is more focused on people who don't really have SFX makeup, lip gloss is going to work fine. Just make sure to dab that along this line of the actual cut. And then once you've got it laid down, you can do whatever. You can smudge it out, you can put on a little extra and just tilt the body part that your cut is on so that it drops down, whatever fits your costume best. Once I've got it laid down, I'm just going to smudge it out a little bit so it looks a little more convincing. And if you want this to stay in place for a long time, make sure to either prime underneath, use a foundation, or use a setting spray over top. And this is it, you're finished.